This is not a game. We are not driving a game. We are not talking about a game. We are not playing a game. We're talking about national advancement as the number one thing. We're talking about taking Zimbabwe from a third world state to a first world state. It's business. We have to look at it as business. We have to approach it as business. We have to plan it as business. We have to create a vision that is powerful enough to take Zimbabwe there. We have to create a strategy that is powerful enough to take Zimbabweans there. We have to create a means that is high enough and adequate. It's a fit for that vision. And we have to create a behavior model, a value system. In other words, we have to contain ED, we have to contain Chiwenga, we have to contain any other force, including this revolutionary element that took our country. There's an African saying, you don't, the midwife does not take the baby for a price. That's what they've done. In any case, we gave them 40 years. We didn't give them 40 years. They took 40 years. And they say we allowed them. What did they do in the 40 years? Nothing. What did China do in the 40 years? It has become a leading transformational nation today. Although there's this facade that has got all the capitals, all the money, all the expertise, which is totally false. They don't have the money. The money is in the West. Let's focus our energies behind that. We need to drive Zimbabwe to be a great nation. When we do that and package it as a project, because capital wants a project that is packaged. Capital wants a project that is owned by somebody, by an individual they can trust, who is predictable and credible. Who is he in Zimbabwe? Is it Chamisa? Chamisa has shown that he is just an esoteric, political, ethereal, Neptunian soliloquist. There's nothing underneath there. There's nothing under MDC there. The party is not organized. He has shown that his leadership is not strategic. He cannot form a team. A squadron leader is only as powerful as his wingmen. Who are the wingmen? People who have failed to raise their parties for years. People who are tempted to raise parties for years. With all this struggle in our people, the hospitals, the education, everything, he has not been able to do anything. Let me show you how to do it. Zimbabwe is going to be a leading nation into the massive market of Africa. Zimbabwe is a door into the market of Africa. And then I'm saying to our leading business people, we can't watch our people suffering like that. Let us raise $500 million. Then we can work out an oversight system and put money into our hospitals today, now. Because the politicians are looking at 2023. The politicians are trying to take care of themselves. The politicians think that the constitutional democratic process of elections works. 600 elections in Africa since 1957 have done nothing. Africans are destitute. It's not only the elections. There's this whole neo-colonial system. There's all this global neoliberal system. There's all this capitalist, fundamentalist economic model. Juggernaut. What is he going to do about that? If he can fix the idea of replacing a corrupt system of people that they've killed people, they've externalized billions of dollars, and they've sold themselves behind the sanctions story, which is a false, which is totally false. If we remove these people, the sanctions drop. They sold our country to China. They've externalized billions. They're not fit to rule. So I'm saying to the leading business people, and I'm saying to the Western government, I'm saying to Boris Johnson, I'm saying to President Trump, I'm saying to Merkel, I'm saying to Macron, I'm saying we have a history together of colonization. Your nations took about 40 million of our people. And you have the history of industrialization for 300 years, unlike China. I'm saying you have a part to play. We have equity in you that now we want to cash it. We want to first to cash it in Zimbabwe. We want you to raise $1 billion. Out of that $1 billion, we want the African leaders, businessmen, persons who are going to benefit from the Zimbabwe market, who are going to benefit from the African market. All you business people in Africa, put $400 million together. It's not hard. The money is already there. Just write some checks. And then these Western nations put together only $600 million for now. So we can package Zimbabwe as a business. We can package Africa as a business. And we can move forward and forget about the past. It's all about psychology. The psychology of the old system and the old political system in the heads of ED and these revolutionaries. The psychology is in the governments, the foreign governments that think Africa is a mineral place. The psychology in the systems of the IMF and the World Bank and all those. Those are the psychology that you have to contain and leave behind. Re-engineer Africa, re-engineer Zimbabwe, crush those old systems and detach from them and engage yourself through a re-entrepreneuring process into the future with a power that can drive the future. The politicians, my brothers and sisters, business people, entrepreneurs, and those partners who want us to engage into a massive partnership, which we can do with the Western states. I am totally, unrepentantly pro-Western. 300 years of industrialization, they have all the capital that China is taking and bringing to us. I am totally pro-Western. It's business. We can sit down with them and say, we have a history. You messed up. You got to pay for it. 40 million people taken. Colonialization. But we want a partnership. 3 billion people market. That's powerful. That's awesome. That's great. In order to do it, nothing for nothing. Let's see your heart. Let's see how you feel. Do you have an empathetic architecture? Do you feel for the African? Like you say you do? You watch in your embassies of people suffering like that? Come on, be real. It's all about the market. You are there for the market, for nothing else. But your psychology of coming with this underhanded secret services, it's bad. You need new psychology. But let's start right here. We can work together. We can create something. Even the Chinese, we can partner under a more organic, progressive system that is controlled by the Africans. That's what we mean. And that's what action is. That's what power is. That's what leadership is. We're moving from the political to the economic, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how much rhetoric. At the end of the day, the power goes to the one who sees the future first. Zimbabwe, $1 trillion nation in 40 years. Africa, a $50 trillion GDP in 50 years, a leading economy. That is the power market that I'm attracting you to. African leaders, that's the power that I'm attracting to you. The Chinese, but under our own conditions. And the Western world, I am your guy. Because I can align the market for you because I understand the science of transformation. I understand the science of packaging a nation that's a third world through a projected 40-year GDP, and I can estimate very accurately to 30 years and 40 years. It's the time. We can't be wasting our time with this preacher political rhetoric. Words are cheap. The opposition has got tons and tons and tons and tons of words. I'm a man of action. Strive Masiwa knows that. And he knows that I'm a man of integrity. And that's what we need. I'm predictable. I am credible. I can get you into this market, you Western people. It's about markets. If we can't do that now, then when? If not us. If not a guy that understands the power of this global connectivity, the market oversight of this juggernaut of a force that we need to align and have a new psychodynamic worldview, expression that understands where the world is going. That's the guy you want to come and work with, a guy who understands that your psychology in your countries doesn't work anymore. If you change your psychology, then you empower your markets. A guy who understands that by realigning your resources and stationing them in Africa, it will create an explosive market that in 40 years, 50 years, your nations, it's as if they have a second budget coming from Africa. That's what we're talking about. Now, let's sit down with Chamisa and have that kind of debate. Let's sit down with ED and have that kind of debate. How many minutes will they last? 0. Their chances are 0 to none, as Muhammad Ali once said. There comes a time when a layman can have a voice in these alarming times of economic difficulties. Why? Because of the confusion of the opinions of the expert. We need to move away from these red waters of political meandering, politicking, of people that have gone AWOL, away from the mandate, and focus on the economy. Is the economy stupid? Is transformation stupid? We are 3 industrial revolutions down. We need to catch up. We don't have time to mess about. China is a 3-day action nation. We need to move forward. It's time to move forward. We need a leader, a person who understands the several contradictions and all these arrows going this way and that way, and align one idea and drive Zimbabwe and drive Africa into its greatness. Africa, a leading continent in 50 years, by 2070, whether China likes it, whether the Western people like it, the Africans are going to be the leading economy. Ultimately, Africa is going to be the most powerful economy, most powerful continent in the world. Whether you like it, whether you love it, you don't, it's totally inconsequential. That is the truth, that is the power, and this is the man. Period.